Hey guys, it's Deb from KrisAndDeb here. I am here to talk to you guys about The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I didn't think it'd be worth me doing like an entire review of Part 1. There's a lot of really great reviews out there, and I'm pretty much want to just break down how I feel about the movie in general. Talk about the movie versus the book, because I did read the book before, actually like a few days before watching the movie. But anyways, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this. So let's get started. Immediately off the bat, I want to say what I liked about the movie is just how accurate I felt it was to the books. Now, I'm not saying 100%. Now calm down, everybody. Of course, there's always going to be changes made. I am talking about literally, I felt like I was just rereading it all over again. I mean, just even the little details, like Katniss singing the Hanging Tree song, the whole scene at the hospital, like her visiting the people at District 8 and how that thing went down, and just, I don't know, just the emotions, her finding Buttercup in District 12, taking him over to Prim. It really just followed along how I literally just got done reading. So because it's all nice and fresh in my mind, it was like, oh, how refreshing to watch a movie that is so similar to what I just got done reading. Look at that. It could have to do with the fact that it's a whole book divided into 2 movies, which seems to be the cool thing here these days. Not sure if splitting it into 2 parts was the right thing to do, but then again, I mean, we could have just added an extra hour. I don't know how many people want to sit there for 3 hours. I mean, I will sit there for 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours watching a movie that's perfectly done. For it being part 1, I felt like, was it enough stuff that happened for it to be its own movie? Personally, I do feel like there were a lot of parts that were slow. We didn't technically need to have all those little moments and all those little details thrown in there, but for mega fans and people that read the books that appreciate those things, that's awesome that they did that. Propaganda, rescuing Peeta, going to District 8, really. Not too much that happens, so yeah. So I want to talk about what are like the changes that I noticed from the movie to the book, from the book to the movie, however you want to say it. Not in any particular order, but I think just me sitting there, first thing that I kind of noticed immediately was Boggs. Or should I say, I didn't notice Boggs. In the book, they described Boggs as gray, short hair, and blue eyes. So I'm just sitting there kind of waiting for his character to show up. And I'm like, I wonder who this black guy is. Oh, but you know, Plutarch actually out of nowhere was like, Boggs, you know, what do you think, or whatever. And I'm like, oh, that's Boggs. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, it's really not a big deal. I could care less what skin color and, you know, who he is, as long as it's a good actor and he's playing his role right. And you know what? He did a good job, so I'm not complaining about that. What I was thinking, though, is how confused I was, because I do like Boggs, and I like the fact that he was able to win Katniss over. I liked him. I liked the connection that he had with Katniss. So I was happy to see him there, and, you know, he did his job or whatever, so I liked that. But I was just kind of thrown off with the fact that he was different than what I pictured him being. Effie showing up in the movie. I think everybody in the movie theater was kind of like, what is she doing here? I really have no issues with Effie being there because I really like Elizabeth Banks. I really love her as Effie. I think they brought her back because Effie's been one of the most loved characters because she is just so stinking adorable. And I was kind of frustrated at first because I'm like, what are you doing here? It's supposed to be Octavia, Flavius, and Benia. We just sent this prep team for Katniss, and they're the ones that are supposed to prepare her to be Mockingjay and all that stuff. You know, their story was kind of sad. They were just kind of like beaten up and all stuff for stealing food at District 13, and you know, when Katniss found them, she was just horrified. And so that was a thing in the book. But you didn't really feel connected to those characters in the other movies. But you did feel connection to Effie, which is why they wanted to bring her back in. Katniss and Gail. Okay, they're like a thing, but they're not a thing, but they are a thing. But in the book, I remember feeling a closeness between them still. I think Gail was having a hard time understanding her because obviously he did not experience the games like she did. And in the book, I felt like he was trying to connect with her more and just trying to like be there for her more. But in the movie, Gail was kind of stale. I didn't feel like there was enough Gail in there. And no, I'm not one of those girls that's all completely obsessed with Gail. When I was reading the book, I did feel more of a connection with Gail and just kind of happy that at least he was there for her. Him and Finnick. And again, Finnick was another one of those people in the movie that I didn't feel like they showed enough of him. I didn't feel like there was enough connection between him and Katniss. Sure, every once in a while she'd go to him and they would have like their little conversations or whatever, but I still wanted more. What he goes through in the book and what he explains in one of the propos is how he was a sex slave and how Snow used him and all that stuff in the Capitol, and it's a very sad story. Speaking of the rescue mission, how cool was that? I mean, I think that's something that I did like. Because in the book, you don't really go on that rescue mission. It's kind of exciting. You're like, oh, ooh, we get to see what's going on in the Capitol. Let's find out what's back there. It was just really cool to see how they got it done. So sorry if I'm kind of like all over the place. I swear I had this all organized, but even if I organize it, my brain is like so flippin' scattered that you're just gonna get like vomit of information thrown at me. At you. Okay, sorry. Continuing. Something else that I noticed, might not be a thing, but I just felt like Coin was, or she came off a little nicer than what I expected. She was just more cold and just kind of like, she didn't really care for Katniss too much, and this whole thing, like she had her own agenda going on, and, you know, whoever gets in her way, like she's like, That's exactly how she did it in my mind, in the book. But in the movie, she was like, Katniss, how's your mother and your sister doing? It's like, I don't think she really cares. I don't know why they made her that way. But whatever, it is what it is. Julianne Moore, I think she did a fantastic job as Coin. I think she's a great actress. Yeah. Okay, so this is for cinematic epicness purposes. That makes no sense. But hang with me here. I don't know about you guys, but the whole scene when Peeta comes back and Katniss goes into the room and she's like, Peeta? And he's just like, ah! And he starts choking her and attacking her. First off, Peeta Millar looks like he weighs like 100 pounds. In fact, he looks like he weighs like 80, 90 pounds, okay? Somehow the kid chokes her. Okay, the choking's okay. He like picks her up, slams her into the wall, slams her on the, like, he like picks her up by the throat and like slams her on the equipment, on the floor and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh my god! I knew they were going to make it look epic because there's really not much exciting stuff that happens. I had just pictured him walking towards her and like he starts touching her neck and then before you know it he just starts choking her. I'd be afraid of Peeta if I were you. You need to calm down, Peeta. You need to sit your butt down. One of the last things I wanted to mention, along with Katniss's list of demands of becoming the Mockingjay, rescuing Peeta, making sure that he's pardoned for any crimes, and the victors as well. Then she remembers Annie. Prim can keep her cat. Her and Gail can go off hunting. And then one of the last things that she mentions is, I killed President Snow. Coin was like, I will flip you for it. Yeah, that wasn't in the movie. I wonder if it's one of those things that they're going to put it in part 2 somehow. They're going to like wedge it in there where there's going to be like the camera's going to zoom in. She's going to be like, I killed President Snow. Only I can. I was waiting for it, and that was just kind of like when she was making her list of demands, I was like, and then she crumbles up the piece of paper and she puts it in her pocket. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe later. Just thinking. I'm sure we all know by now that she wants to kill Snow. I think we pretty much got that information down by now. That was pretty much my thoughts. Leave in the comments below what your thoughts are. Did you like part 1? Are you looking forward to part 2? Of course you're looking forward to part 2. That's like the whole point of even watching part 1. Also, let me know what other movies you guys are looking forward to coming in December. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. So sorry Kristen couldn't make it, but we will see you next time in our next video. Bye! Jurassic World is going to be showing the trailer on Thursday. Friday, J.J. Abrams mentioned something on his Twitter about showing a possibility of the trailer. We will see it all. Check out our Twitter and we will let you guys know what we think about both trailers. I'm a Christian Bale fan. I'm looking forward to his new movie, The Exodus, Gods and Kings. I would like to see how that turns out. Not sure why all of a sudden I'm swimming like I'm under the sea. I'm especially a fan of his rant. Like, I listen to it when I'm really upset. The rant that was on the Terminator Salvation. If you've never heard it, listen to it. Find it on YouTube and listen to it. It helps you to release your anger. Helps me.